your Be Creative Crafts, and welcome to the introduction for the Crocheted Jericho. So this is the yarn you are going to be using if you're using the same color palette that I am. So let me go over the yarn that I'm using, let you know how many yards you're going to need, and I will give you the total yardage. So if you want to choose a different color, you will know how much yarn you're going to need to do your Crocheted Jericho. Okay? Give me just a second. Let me set all of this down and let's get started going over what yarn you're going to need for your project. All right, y'all. So these are my ball bands. I did keep them just so I would know exactly how many I used of each because I have a tendency to forget to write it down. Okay, so as you see here, I wrote my color block numbers on the ball bands as I went. That way, when I told myself grab color number 1, or in the tutorial, I suggest y'all do this so that when I say grab color number 3, or I used color number 3, you'll be able to keep your layout the same as mine if that's what you want to do. This for me was just, it just made it easier. Okay, so as you see, I used one of every one of my colored skeins. So let me show y'all what colors I used. And remember, for each of these, you're going to use one. And I will let you know how much of each skein I used. Okay? All right, so color number 1. Oh, and I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby for all of my colors. Now, all of the solid color skeins are 355 yards, 325 meters. They're a 7-ounce skein or 199 grams, and all of them are a medium 4-weight, 100% acrylic. You can use whatever yarn you so choose. I do recommend that you go ahead and use a 4-weight in whatever fiber you choose in order for it to come out as close to the same size of mine as possible. So color number 1 is periwinkle. And it is this beautiful color here. Of the periwinkle, I used 323 yards of the periwinkle. So I had roughly 32 yards left. Okay, let me switch off to the next color. All right, color number 2 is called Shocking Violet. Now this one is a variegated skein. So all of the variegated skeins are 252 yards, 230 meters, and these are 5-ounce skeins, or 142 grams. Again, 100% acrylic of a medium 4-weight. All this yarn came from Hobby Lobby. I know that if you are not in the United States, you do not have access to Hobby Lobby, so any 4-weight will work. Okay, let me grab the yarn and show you what it looks like. Okay, so this is Shocking Violet. So pretty. Now let me grab the periwinkle. And the reason I picked the Shocking Violet is because it has the periwinkle in it. So I thought those paired really well together. So when I was in the store, I was tossing them in the buggy. And so that is how that came to be. I forgot to tell y'all how much I used. Okay, so of the Shocking Violet, I used approximately 225 yards and had about 27 yards left over of the Shocking Violet. Again, you only need one skein. Okay, color number 3. This is another solid, so it is a total skein, 7-ounce skein, 355 yard, and this one is called Cherry Blossom. And it is this really pretty peachy color here. And again, it pairs really well with that Shocking Violet. That Shocking Violet has that peachy color in it. So it just works up really well. It looks really nice together. Okay, so of the Cherry Blossom, I used, let's see, where's my little yardage? Again, it's 355 yards, and I used approximately 283 yards, leaving me with 72 yards left over. Now, the difference between the yardage and the Cherry Blossom and the periwinkle I used for the final round of the border, which is why I used a little bit more of that one than I did of the Cherry Blossom. But again, you just need one skein. Now I did, as you can see, I purchased 2 of every one of these because I just wanted to make sure that I had enough yarn to complete the project. Color number 4 is called Mint Tea. This is another variegated, so it is a 5-ounce skein, 252 yards. And it is this really pretty multi-tone here. So pretty. I've got it upside down. There we go. But it's very pretty. And again, let me grab this one here so you can see. As you see here, it has a little bit of green in it. Not a whole lot, but enough to where it just really pulls those colors and they pair well together. So that is how Mint Tea was selected. Of the Mint Tea, I used approximately 227 yards, leaving me with about 25 yards left over of the Mint Tea. Color number 5 is called Green Turquoise Red. This one is a variegated skein, 252 yard total, 5 ounce. And this is what it looks like. Again, I've got it upside down. Now this one I used approximately 235 yards, and I had about 17 yards left over. Now this one, this color was chosen because it paired well with the Mint Tea. Okay, so this is all of the colors you will need for your color block. Now, if you, again, let's turn this over. If you are using a different color palette, that is fine. I just wanted to let you know what I was using. So, total yardage for all of your bricks, for all of your color blocks, that's going to be your large rectangles and your squares. You will need approximately 1,293 yards of any color that you choose. But in total, that's what you're going to need, 1,293 yards for the color blocks of the Crocheted Jericho. Now let me show you what you're going to need for the mortar. Okay, for your mortar section, I'm using a solid. This one is in the color Linen. And it is a solid skein, so it's a 7-ounce skein, 355 yards. So I used 4 full skeins and a partial on a 5th. One of those ball bands must have jumped out of the bag, but I did use 4 full skeins and about 105 yards of this 5th skein. I think I bought 6 total of this particular color, just because I wanted to make sure, because this color is used the most in the color palette that I chose. Okay, so for your mortar rows, this is going to be your long sections that are going to break up each of the color block rows, and it's also going to be used for your small rectangle. So you will need approximately 1,525 yards of whatever color you choose to use for your mortar section. So again, that's going to be the long border or the long rows in between each color block and also your small rectangles. So you will use this color the most. And you can mix it up. You don't have to use one solid color. But be sure that whatever color you choose for your mortar, that it is a contrasting color to all of the colors that you have chosen for your color blocks or for your bricks. Okay? All right, so total yardage for the mortar, again, is 1,525 yards. Total yardage for the entire blanket is approximately 2,818 yards. That includes your mortar and your color block. Thank you so much. That is your yardage that you're going to need for this Crochet Jericho. All right, y'all. I hope you enjoy this. Thank you to Miss Kimberly, the pajama quilter. She is the inspiration behind this pattern. She designed the Jericho quilt. All of her information is linked in the description of this video, so you can find her social media here on social media or here on YouTube. She is the pajama quilter. And her Etsy store is KC Divine Inspirations. Again, all of that is linked in the description box below. I took her quilt pattern, the Jericho, with her permission. I re-inspired it into crochet using a really cool, I think, a really cool textured stitch called the Suzette stitch paired with single crochet to kind of give a quilted vibe to the finished product. So, all right, so let's get on into this introduction. Let me show you how the pattern's going to be laid out. I'll show you how this pattern is going to flow and show you a few images of my finished product, as well as a couple of different color palettes, color layouts that I'm doing. And who knows, by the time the final video comes out, I may have a fourth one done or started. All right, y'all, so I printed out my color palette layout. I did this in Excel. You don't need any sort of fancy programs in order to be able to do this. Or I also sketched it out on graph paper. Let me grab it. Hold on. I also sketched it out on graph paper, and you can color it in. So like I said, you do not need any sort of fancy equipment to do this. Okay, so I suggest that you go ahead and lay out your color palette how you want to do it. You can use as many colors as you want or as few colors. I'm going to be using 6 colors. Highly recommend that you do at least use 2 different colors. Because otherwise you won't be able to see the pattern take shape. So I'm using 6 different ones since I am replicating this off of the Jericho quilt as designed by Miss Kimberly, the pajama quilter. I do have the link for her quilt in the description box below, where you can purchase the pattern off of Etsy. Her Etsy site, or her Etsy store, is KC Divine Inspirations, and I will leave it also linked in the description. All right, so I'm going to be using 6 colors, and these are my colors down here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to number these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That way, I know when I get to that section in the pattern which one I'm going to use. I'm going to grab a Sharpie, and I'm just going to write my number right here on the ball band. That way, I'll know. So if I'm running low on a particular color, I'm going to know which one I'm going to need to go grab more of, based on my color chart here. And I will let y'all know which color I'm going to be using when I'm doing the pattern. So like when I get to here, I'm going to turn it this way. So this is going to be number 1. So I'm going to tell you color number 1, I'm going to use my color number 6. I'm going to use my color number 2, color number 6, color number 3, so on and so forth. That way, if you want to use the same colors that I'm using, and you've got yours numbered, or you want to use the same color sequence and you are using 6 colors like I am, then when I tell you to pull out your color number 6, that's going to be easier for you to grab rather than me say I'm using my color linen, because I'm using linen. There wasn't a linen color on in Excel, so I used this pale yellow, but this is my color linen, which is going to be all of this pale yellow that you see here. So when I say grab this is the mortar and border section is what I'm calling it. So you'll know that that's going to be the color that you're going to need to grab. You're going to grab the one that you have chosen for your project. Okay, so you definitely need to use at least 2 colors, and they need to be contrasting colors so that these blocks really pop out. Let's see, and this one is in the color Periwinkle, because Periwinkle is Miss Kimberly's favorite color. So I was like, well, obviously this blanket, this crocheted quilt that is inspired by her Jericho pattern, has to have periwinkle. All right, y'all, the gauge swatch video will be coming up next, so I hope y'all enjoy it. Let me know in the comments what colors you're going to be using. If you're doing it in the same color palette that I am, let me know. And head over to my Facebook group and share your pictures. I'd love to see how it comes out. Okay, I hope y'all enjoy the Crocheted Jericho. Again, thank you so much to Miss Kimberly for allowing me to reimagine her quilt pattern into crochet. I really enjoyed doing this, and I hope y'all enjoy it as well. If you can do a single crochet, double crochet, I think y'all will be able to do this blanket easy peasy. The most intimidating thing for me as when I used to watch videos would be the chainless single crochet foundation, but it's a very short section, so I think y'all be able to get it pretty easily. And also the join as you go, which I appreciate, because the join as you go means when you're done, and there's nothing to sew together at the end, which is a bonus for me, because you know, I'm just not big on making like 15,000 little pieces parts that I then have to sew together at the end. I prefer to be able to just crochet it along or add it as I go. So I hope y'all appreciate that as much as I do when I am following along with other patterns. So yeah, I think that's it, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all go, and I will see y'all in the next video. Remember, be creative, and until next time, happy crafting.